guys, I am Chris Kaler.
And I'm Amber Foster Kyuujin cosplay, and today we are back again, guys, with Madoka Magica, episode 5.
That was, yes, last episode we were dealing with Mami's death, badly, I must say. The girls were saying they did not want to be magical girls anymore, and Kyuujin was like, fine, I'll go find someone else, bye.
Bye.
But then Sayaka was meeting with her friend at the hospital, and he was not doing good. He was very depressed, saying that, you know, there was no chance he could ever, if he could ever walk again, he would definitely never play the violin again, or piano, I don't remember.
So
Instruments again.
She kind of decided to wish.
Well, who turned out to be right there?
To heal him.
Yeah, who turned out to be right there listening?
Did someone say a wish? Yeah? Huh?
Anyway, I mean, I know the episodes are coming out on YouTube, and I know some people are kind of sad that we since we knew or we know a few things about Kyuujin, we keep being suspicious of him, and we keep seeing stuff, and we're like, yeah, but let's be real, because I talked about this with her, and I'm like, let's be real.
What we're
Considering
seeing,
how we react to things normally, we would be seeing
this
stuff.
would have been suspicious enough because he is insisting so much on make a wish, make a wish, make a wish.
Honestly, though, it could also mean, you know, it's not necessarily Kyuujin that's bad, but it's the idea of what would happen if you went with what he's asking that could be bad. But I mean, we're having fun just calling him suspicious, and you know. In any case, Sayaka made her wish.
Creepy too because his mouth is not moving at all, and looking at it like this.
I know. But yeah, Sayaka made her wish. She is now the magical girl, and she saved Madoka when she was attacked. Again, suspicious. As soon as she says she doesn't want to be a magical girl, her friend happens to be controlled by a witch, along with a bunch of people, and she got basically dragged into this situation, and Sayaka had to save her. We also had a conversation with Homura, and we talked a bit about what she's been through. We don't really know, you know, what wish she made or people she lost or stuff like that, but we know she's lost people. She's seen death a lot of times. So the mystery thickens. But yeah, that's basically where we left last episode. Sayaka just showing up and saving the day. So let's jump in this episode and see what they have in store for us. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see when these episodes come out, and check out our Patreon for the full reactions.
Okay, so let's watch it.
Always too short. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, let's go back.
Sayaka.
No, Homura. Homura. So, Kyuujin did say that she made a contract with him, but she didn't make a contract with him. That's weird and suspicious. And it's true that when we saw her fighting that witch the first time, I thought that maybe she could have time manipulation or teleportation abilities, because when the witch eat her,
Yeah, that's the first thing
she reappeared at the same place.
So, and we wondered if time travel was a thing very early in the show, because, you know, in the opening, first of all, that's the only example I can remember, but in the opening, there's kind of like a moment where you got Madoka and another Madoka who seems older, that's kind of taking care of her, sort of. But if we're going with that theory, it makes sense, because Homura knew Madoka when we didn't know her. Homura, you know, we basically had a dream about Homura fighting and us making a wish, and we were like, prophecy, it's, you know, it's gonna happen in the future, we don't know. But Homura showed up, knowing us, knowing, you know, that something bad was gonna happen if we made the contract. I say we, like Madoka. If she made the contract, it's like she knows for sure something bad is gonna happen, and we can't even play it off as, oh, she's just trying to you know, prevent this from happening. She's trying to save some girls, but then she didn't care about Sayaka. She said it herself. It's a mistake, but she wasn't as, you know, pushy, you know, persistent, you know, when it comes to Sayaka as she was with Madoka specifically. Again, you know, we know Kyuujin is very interested in Madoka, so it could have just been, you know, potential and stuff, but the fact that she knew her, it seems that she knew a lot about what was gonna happen, and maybe she has a power that makes her control time a little bit. Maybe maybe she is from the future.
Could be.
And I mean that would make sense if now we know that you make a wish and that gives you your power. So that she made a wish that got her time, controlling powers, sort of. So what if her wish was linked to, wanting to save Madoka? Or wanting to change what happened if she took the powers.
To make that wish.
Because what if she comes from a place, because we know she's been through some shit. She's seen a lot of people die. What if she comes from a future that is messed up, broken, because of Madoka becoming a magical girl?
Like Suzuha from Steins Gate?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. So what if, she's talking about she has a purpose, she's here for a mission and stuff, but all we've seen her do is try and stop Madoka from turning into a magical girl. So in my opinion...
It's true that she doesn't really care much about the rest.
Yeah, so in my opinion, if the wish that you make is linked directly to your ability, maybe she is from the future, a future that is so broken that she's seen horrible shit happen, which is why she's that dark. She knows the consequences of this life. She's been through it. She's lived it. And she's a veteran in that case because of whatever happened to her. She made a wish to stop it, and now she's back to change that future. I'm jumping straight up into a wild and pretty big theory, let's be real, but it makes sense with this episode.
Well, I do know that in Arui Suzumiya, you got people from the future who went back in time to save or to do something.
It's a concept we've seen before.
It's a concept that we've seen before, so that is not far-fetched.
We just finished Steins Gate, so
yeah,
just
but
saying.
That is not far-fetched. That could happen.
But I mean, it's all what we saw in the opening, what you said about her powers, what we just learned about how the wish affects the ability, and what she knows about Madoka, what she says she has to do, and it's all, she's focused on. And it's the fact that she's so different. And what Kyuujin say, how she made a wish with him, but she didn't make a wish with him.
Because if she's coming from the future,
it didn't happen yet.
The present didn't happen yet, yeah.
Yeah, so that would make perfect sense.
So we're gonna see and wait what's the answer at the end of the show.
Don't scream spoiler in the comments, please. These are theories, you guys. If we end up being right, it's gonna be cool.
I really like the fact that when you make a wish, depending on your wish, it affects your abilities.
Because we were wondering about that too. If the type of wish you would make you more powerful, less powerful. And he was saying that's why what he meant.
Because at first I thought that maybe if you make a wish for someone else, it can show maybe that your soul is pure, that your soul is more... your soul is more pure, yeah, thank you. And could be more powerful in that way. But if it depends on what you wish for and just give you some type of powers, that could be still
that's
true.
What he kept saying, I sense your potential. He said to Madoka, I sense your potential, and I can't even guess what size, of a soul gem you're going to have and stuff. And that even, and even then, who knows if you're going to become even more powerful depending on the wish you make. So now we know, because depending on what she wishes, her power might be like OP as fuck.
So,
which makes me really wonder because she's gonna turn into a magical girl. We see it
right now. It seems that if she can make a wish, that will be to save her friend or to be able to save.
I mean, they sure try to push that that possibility. And again, I'm gonna anger people who are mad that
stop saying that Kyuujin is evil.
But like, how can we not?
He's still pushing the issue that you need to make a wish.
He's not respecting her decision to not be a magical girl. He's pushing it every time he can, and it's not subtle, but he's trying to be subtle. Like, he's like, you can come and everything, and do you have a plan, Sayaka? Do you have a plan? And it's even the shot of the eye. Do you have a plan, Madoka? But if something happens, you always have a trump card. Yeah. I'm like, can you be more suspicious than that? No.
Oh, please, Kyuujin, can you help them? Can you stop them? I can do nothing. Only a magical girl can stop them. Make your wish. Do something. Thank you, Omura, for coming at the right moment that she was
And
saying to do
it's
something.
not the first time also that he's been like this with her. And the thing is, no matter, you know, if it was just a matter of, oh, Kyubei wants to create magical girls and stuff, it's a thing. But then he's so obsessed with Madoka. And we know Homura is afraid Madoka is going to turn into a magical girl. That's her whole purpose right now, to stop this from happening.
So there's something there.
There is something there. And my question is, what does he get out of this? Because from what we saw, like, creating magical girls is his job. It's to save the cities and stuff, to protect the cities. Fine. But does he get something out of it? And we were wondering.
You know what I thought? When I saw the contract of Sayaka and Kyubei, and I don't know why, but does he get in possession of their soul?
Well, yeah, that's the soul gem.
Yeah, but no, does he get in possession of their soul, that their soul belongs to him?
Well, that's a contract. That's sort of like the whole point. But then what does that do to him? And I had a theory that, you know, witchers, wrong series, wrong show. Witches are magical girls that basically turn into witches and stuff.
Yeah, we
so that's
thought that.
Yeah, that's the bad. That would maybe be the bad side of the contract. But even if that's what happens, what does he get from this? You know, does he get stronger? Does he get more magic? Is it just his purpose? And in that case, who created him? You know, what's the end game here?
Yeah, we don't know yet.
And I mean, that would answer a lot of questions, but I'm guessing this is for the end of the show. It's a short show, by the way, right? It's like, what, 13 episodes?
12 episodes and a film.
Okay. So, I mean, we're already we're going towards the mid-series here, so
Yeah.
things are gonna get intense. I mean, they are intense. That other magical girl, she's the perfect representation of what Mami basically warned them about. What she tried to portray Homura as. You know, some magical girls are only in it for the rewards.
The greed seed, yeah.
Well, she's even willing to be like, why would you even risk your life for something that's not going to give you any rewards? That's why I was saying, you know, the whole speech about Sayaka becoming a magical girl and how she feels about it. This is great. This is, you know, what she's saying, why she did it. Even her power, it's about others, sorry. And Madoka would be the same, you know. These two want to do this for other people. That makes them heroes, in my opinion. This is great. I just worry about them. But their reason, and even, you know, Sayaka was worried that her wish was for herself instead of for him, you know, her friend, because she was wondering if it was really to help him or if it was to get the rewards from it, you know, the thank you or the attention. But she's not seeking it. She's basically fading out a little bit and looking at this from afar. And
well, technically, she kind of get a reward from her wish, because seeing her friend being happy to play again.
Well, yeah, but
even though that he played a really sad song, to be honest with you guys.
Yeah, but what I mean by getting something for herself would be if he knew
recognition,
she did it and be like, oh, thank you, and he looks at her more because she has a crush. But it's not about that, considering how she reacted here and the way she, you know, she's willing to do what Mami did, because their opinion of a magical girl is someone that goes out to protect people. It's not someone that goes out for the reward. You know, that makes them really good people. Whereas that other magical girl, I mean, we might see more about, you know, her past, her reasons, what her wish was.
Well, right now she's not fighting for the right reason.
Because, like, honestly, but let's be real. We are talking about magical girls who are created through what is supposed to be a wish, selfish wish that you make for yourself, you know? So at the very core, the definition of a magical girl is a selfish girl who goes after the rewards, you know?
Whoa, when you put it like that, it's...
When I put it like that, it's horrible.
Yeah.
But then, you know, it's true. It's you get something, and in exchange, you get powers, and you have to do a job.
You risk your life, but you get a reward at the end.
It's people that were willing to risk everything to get something for themselves.
Yeah.
The difference is that Sayaka and maybe Madoka in the future are doing these wishes for others. So they're completely selfless in that way. Whereas this girl, I don't know what her wish was, but she seems very, you know, selfish. It's about her. Like, oh, you should let people die. Let a few people die. Let that familiar turn into a witch.
Is the food chain? Come on.
Yeah, like it's. I mean, it's also a mentality that I would see in Homura, sort of. Except that even if she says she's not gonna help, she shows up. It's. But then she showed up as soon as Madoka was about to make her wish. It's still her job to stop that from happening. Still, it's the same type of speech. Just with one is talking about sacrifice and the other is talking about rewards and stuff. So basically it's the fact that a magical girl is gonna, risk their lives and stuff. So their life is already miserable. There's nothing in it except the fight. So she's like, might as well get something out of it.
But, okay, we did say at first that maybe witches were magical girl who turn
yeah, but that has nothing to do with her, though.
No, but
they wouldn't know.
What if it starts like that? If you make a selfish wish, and the more you get the rewards, the more you're becoming bad.
Well, we don't know how long Mami has been a magical girl. How long has this girl been a magical girl? How long does it take?
Sometimes.
And what does... I mean, if that's... I'm not sure that's an actual thing. That was just a theory, but... there's got to be something that happens. There's a reason why when they made the contract, it looked so ominous. It's not a good thing. But then, I mean, the life is not a good thing. Like, Homura is calling it, it's the same as bringing someone back from the grave. I'm like, Jesus, fuck. Okay, she basically signed her death certificate. Okay, well, it's kind of true.
She gave up her soul to that for that.
Yeah, it's her entire life, but she's not seeing it that way because of how Mami portrayed it. And how they saw it, because it's in their minds, it's like being a hero and saving people. It's good, but they haven't been through the shit that Homura has been through. And that other girl, who knows how she was in the beginning, but at that point, it's like she's like, if I'm gonna risk everything, might as well get something out of it, because there's no point. Homura was saying, like, if you become a magical girl, or actually you can become a magical girl if you're selfless, if you think of others, if you have kindness and stuff, because you're gonna die. And so that girl understood the assignment. Anyway,
we did say also that Sayaka had maybe pink tinted glasses view of being a magical girl. We thought that she was putting a mask on, that she was scared, but I don't think that she really understood that this is a really dangerous job.
Some people are like that.
You will get obstacles that are being worse than your first job.
I would say yes, but then at the same time, I look at her fight here, and I'm like, I kept saying, like, oh, please, someone save her. But then she would get up. She kept trying. Like, she's got a strong will, and she's willing to go through the hardships. And she was hurt, but she didn't cry about it. She kept pushing, which I really, really appreciate and admire. So, yes, she kind of glorifies the life of a magical girl. That's because she saw Mami doing it easily, and she was like a hero to her, so she kind of wants to be that to others and stuff like that. Whereas Madoka is getting the harsh and dark version of Homura. But, there's no denying, like, when she was grieving for Mami, she was putting on that attitude, that flashy, positive attitude that Madoka was not capable of at all. And she was trying to do that here too, trying to act like nothing mattered, when in fact she was shaking. So she understands the risks, but she said it, when the guy played the violin, she was like, I understand, what I did, and yes, I should be scared, and yes, it's dangerous, but in that moment, I got to have that. I'm feeling great. It was worth it, and that's the motivation. And she will need to remember that, because every time she gets pushed down or hurt or, fights an enemy that's stronger, that's the reason, I did this so he could play. That's the motivation. It needs to be a fucking strong will and wish,
Yeah, do not regret it later, please.
No, because if you falter once, you're gonna fall. And I mean, even if you don't falter, you might fall, but let's just say that's what she signed up for. Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, that's it for this episode. I'm very scared eventually that shit is still gonna hit the fan, like
come
Mami
on,
said in episode 3.
we know that Madoka's gonna end up to make a wish someday.
Yeah, but it might be at the end of the show.
Maybe at the end of the show, and I can't wait to at least know what her wish is and what her power will be.
I want to know too.
I want to
you
know. I want to know.
I don't want it to happen, but I kind of want it to happen.
Yeah.
But that's because we love drama. But in any case, I mean, we will eventually see it because otherwise it's like the show ends without an answer. You know, we need to understand why Homurai was so against it. But yeah. Yeah, that's it. I'm kind of losing my voice, so we will end this here. Thank you guys so much for watching this episode with us. If you want to see the next episode right away, it is on Patreon already. You can check it out. The link is in the description below.
And if you don't, the next one will be on YouTube next week, guys. So see you then.
Bye.
Bye, guys.